Jambo mambo familia angu. Karibu, karibu, karibu. Habari gani? How are you, my brothers and sisters? This is Eli-Ben-Eli coming to you from Dallas, Texas. And I am going through some problems, but guess what? My philosophy is, if a man is going through life and doesn't have a problem, maybe he's not alive at all. Maybe he's already dead. I wanted to take an opportunity to make a few commentaries about some things that I find a little bit disturbing. Recently, before I get into that, if you haven't liked and subscribed my channel, please help me to continue to grow. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, smash it with a finger, just give it a beat up that subscribe button. Go, hey, come over here, poke it with your finger. But anyway, I wanted to make a commentary about a video that I saw. In the interest of doing things differently, I'm trying to do videos on different subjects. I'm trying to avoid saying anything that will have the Mara people, the Mara crew running after me saying, oh, you hate Mara and everything. I hate to be accused of hating people. It's just not a pleasant thing. But, I saw a recent video of Mara doing something which I have not been appointed to be the judge of the world, but I found it morally objectionable. There was a time in my life, when I was living in a city called Amarillo, and one of the things that I used to do is I used to love, at that period of my life, I wasn't really, even though I was going to the Adventist church, I wasn't trying to live a moral life. And so I would go to these bars where, it's like where women dance naked for the men, or almost completely naked, and some of them completely naked. Those places are wonderful places to go to if you want to waste your money with no good reason. And I'm sure that somebody like Mara, being a passport bro, probably has experienced those kind of places around the world. And there's a way that women dance at those clubs, and a lot of the time the women that are there are also part-time prostitutes. It's like they come to your table, you buy them a drink, they don't think you know it, but they get a percentage of the price of the drink that you buy them. They come, they dance, they sit with you, they drink. Sometimes they do a private dance for you, and sometimes you can take them in a private room and have them dance for you. The point is that I find that whole part of my life to have been something that I'm very ashamed of. Let me just say no more than a lot of those women are also part-time prostitutes. If you like them and you whisper something in their ear, you come to an agreement about how much it's going to cost, they'll go ahead and, either when their shift is over, they'll go with you to a hotel or wherever and do what you want. The way that I saw, what is it that Black Beauty likes to call her? Salvador. The way that I saw Salvador dancing and Mara sprinkling money on her, it reminded me exactly of that experience. She was wearing clothes, but some of the time wearing clothes can be just as bad as not wearing clothing at all, because it reveals something about that person. What that video revealed to me It's something that all of us have suspected. That poor girl came to Kenya, came to Nyabohanse because she didn't have much opportunities elsewhere. She was the way that she dances, the way that she moves her body indicates that this is a woman who, she knows how to get into a man's wallet, and she knows how to demonstrate to a man what she has to sell. And I may be wrong. I'm not saying that this is a fact. I'm just saying that this is the impression that watching that video gave me. And for me, it was kind of shameful to, there were some of those women that I got involved with, I got really involved with, and some of the time you really enjoy the company of that woman and you keep her around. Maybe you let her stay with you for a while, but, it's like in your heart of heart, it's like being with a prostitute. You know that even if she comes to love you, even if you come to love her, it can never really go anywhere because she's for sale. In her heart of hearts, she's for sale. And she can say that she's given up on that life and won't go back to it. But what happens when you hit a part of your life in which the money may not be coming in as quickly? A lot of those women will tell you, hey, if you don't have the money that I like to be around, I'm not going to be with you. But it's kind of like a shame because I have known a lot of men who have, they meet a woman of that kind, and the woman, makes them happy. And some of those men, they're channels here on YouTube of people who go to Thailand and they marry those girls in Thailand. Who do you think they're marrying? High class women? No, these are women. These are bar girls. There's a channel called Chocolate Man in Thailand, and he has this girlfriend who is very, very skinny, covered in tattoos. That's a bar girl, but he's very happy with her. There are men who can be very happy with women like that, but in the end, being with a woman like that is only setting yourself up for sadness, because sooner or later that woman's going to want to return to her former life. And those women are not very loyal to men. They see a man, one of your friends is a little taller than you, a little skinnier than you, has a little more money than you. You find out later on that maybe she was involved with your friend. If you make the mistake of actually marrying a woman like that, you may have 3 or 4 children, and later on you find out that not one of those children was yours. Okay, and once again, I am not saying that any of this is true about Rocio Cabrera. Okay, I'm not saying that because I don't know that to be the case. What I am saying is that it's kind of strange for a man to have his woman dance that way, in front of a camera, and then to put it out to the world. Also, let's say something else. This is a channel that most of my subscribers are above 55, so I'm going to say this very bluntly. There are a lot of those men that are sex traffickers, okay? And this is the problem we had with Mara and Paulina, because the whole thing looked like a sex trafficking setup. Sex trafficking isn't just about having that woman available to yourself. Sex trafficking means that you take that woman and she comes and you advertise what she can do. And other men who have more money than you come along and you let them you know, for you let them do what they want to do with her, and they pay you, or they pay her, and she gives you the money. You know, the point is that I don't like to say anything negative about Mara, and I don't consider this negative. I mean, you want to know something? At the end of the day, sex workers are people that are earning a living by providing a service. It's just that Mara keeps talking about marrying this girl and having children with this girl, but at the same time, maybe that woman is a sex worker or has been. I'm not saying that she is. I'm just speculating about the possibility. You know, so there's a rule that a friend of mine told me about women that I used to call shady ladies. Shady ladies. I think all of those women that came to the party in Navajo, to the Frila in the villa, the fiesta de esta, the party of the century, the party of the epoch, you know, where Mara officially was crowned the king, the false king of Navajo. He who walks with his head held high in the sky. He who walks with his head in the clouds, and his feet can touch the bottom of rivers and can touch the bottom of oceans. King of Nyabohanse, Emperor of Magori Country. You know, a lot of those women struck me as being shady ladies. You give them a GoPro, give them a little bit of money, and, you know, invite them into a dark corner, and there's no telling what they might do. I kind of wonder why Baba Congrats slapped Joseph, slapped that guy. I don't know what's going on, but something apparently was going on. Anyway, I also wanted to mention fellow the boy, fellow the man, fellow the lion. You know, Fedor made a comment in one of his videos that I found a little bit insulting and disrespectful of people who are have defended him. He was like, well, in effect, he was saying, what do you want me to pay you? What do you want? Blah, blah, blah. You know, and it's like, fellow, you know, do yourself a favor. Try to be more of an adult. It's kind of hard, but try to be a little more of an adult. That was unnecessary. And I also wanted to say a comment about, what's his name, Burundian Traveler. Burundian Traveler posted a video in which he bought a motorcycle. And I don't know whether what he was saying in that video was just bad usage of the English language, or I don't know what he was admitting, but when the time came for him to get a free helmet and jacket that goes with a motorcycle, he kept saying about the second helmet. It wasn't, when he got the motorcycle, he got 2 free helmets and 2 free jackets. And he kept saying the first one is for me, or something to the effect of, the first one is for me, the second one is for my wife. And he never mentioned Diana Kemi by name. You know, and you know, I don't like to get into other people's business. But Diana Kemi is somebody that I like a great deal. And so is Carol Baby. And, you know, it's like there are those of us on here, on Facebook, that have the attitude of my brother, and I'm talking to BT, my brother, do not tread where angels fear to walk, okay? And why is that? Because you will have somebody who is protective of those 2 girls, maybe seek you out and spank you. All that I'm telling you is, seriously, I'm not, I'm not the kind of man who indulges in any kind of bad behavior of that kind. But what I want to tell you is the following. Please do us all a favor. Diana Kimmy is a beautiful, sweet young woman. Don't play games with her. What wife were you talking about? If you were talking about Diana Kimmy, that's good. But if you are polygamous, you haven't had a talk with her about you being a polygamist. Please consider doing something else. Also, I want to talk about something that's not related to my usual topic on this channel. The President of the United States came to my congressional district to attend the funeral of Congresswoman Eli-Ben-Eli Johnson. And that really, the country, the United States is doing well, but people are very unhappy with the president. I don't know why, because he's doing a good job. They're complaining about the border. Well, the border has always been a problem, and we're dealing with a very serious situation that maybe the rest of the world does not understand or look at in the right way. We had a president who led a protest of people that attempted to force the government of the United States to not appoint our current president, Joe Biden, as president. It is called an insurrection. 500 of the people that were involved have already been sent to prison. He himself was never charged, but he wants to run for office again. And in a word, this is a man who has very, very little respect for the rule of law. He has very little respect for political history, and he's trying to impose himself as a dictator here in the United States. And right now, all of that is being argued out in the federal court system. Some of the state courts have prohibited him from running for the presidency in their state. Those states being the state of Colorado and Maine. I don't know if currently some other states have done it. These are some people, even Americans, are not frightened of this. I find it very frightening. When I was a child, I lived in a country that was a dictatorship, and I'm telling you, these are frightening times. People do not know the danger that this country's in. Back when January the 6th, not of this year, obviously, but when the insurrection happened, 4 weeks before that, I have been saying, this is dangerous, and yet everybody's acting like if nothing is happening. This is dangerous. But who is Babu Eli? Babu Eli is just an old man. I am just a voice crying out in the wilderness. Most of my American friends were telling me, you're worried about nothing, don't worry, blah, 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 blah. The government has this under control. The government almost fell. Right now, I'm saying exactly the same thing. This is a dangerous situation. There's a very, very good possibility that America could be facing a revolution. People are not listening to people who say the things that I'm saying. And I look at people like Congressman Richie Torres from the South Bronx. They're so busy being concerned with allowing Israel to bomb the Gaza and to do whatever it wants in the Gaza. They're not looking at what's going on in their own country. And by the way, let me say something about that. I mean, why not? Yes, this is YouTube. Person can mouth off about different things. I happen to consider myself, no, I don't just consider myself. I practice Judaism and I practice Islam. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Foundational prayer of Judaism. Allahu Akbar. I also believe in that. Okay. I performed Ashadu. I also performed the conversion into Judaism. They tell you that, rabbis will tell you that Judaism is not mutually exclusive with Islam, that you can become Muslim and continue to be a Jew. What if you don't renounce either faith? What if you embrace both faiths? The point that I'm making to you is this. It bothers my heart to see Palestinians dying. It bothers my heart to see Jews dying. I believe that si se puede. I believe that peace is possible. Shalom, salam, shalom, salam. I believe that peace is possible. And anybody who's advocating anything other than a ceasefire is not a friend of the Palestinians or of the Jews. At the end of the day, the Palestinian and Jews, in my humble opinion, are the same people. And I happen to believe in something that comes out of West Africa that will eventually become more and more important. It's called pacifist Islam. Okay? War is not the answer. Diplomacy and peace is. Asante Asana, if you have watched the video up until this point, Asante Asana, if you have subscribed to my channel, Asante Asana. Oh, by the way, if you want to come to the United States and you need assistance in doing so, reach out to me privately, okay? Asante Asana to all of you. May you and your family never lack. And on a serious note, you know, I worry about people like Baby Carol, and I worry about Diana Kemi. I'm beginning to think that, you know, Fellow is somebody who's only friends with the people of his village, people that he knows, and maybe he doesn't need friends like me. So I just, you know, I'm going to gracefully bow out of any further, you know, contentions regarding Fellow the Boy. I cannot give up on discovering who Sir Edwards is. So if Sir Edwards comes forward voluntarily and admits who he is to me, he can do it privately. He can reach out to me privately. I'll desist from any further inquiry, but the hunt to discover the true identity of Sir Edward goes on. May each of you have a blessed day. And tomorrow, I believe I will do a video of coffee with Babu Eli, and probably I will do another video of me doing exercise, which is very, very important. In the meantime, may Allah, may Hashem, may the God of Abraham bless and keep each and every one of you. May He permit peace to reign in between all Jews and all Muslims, because we are one family. And that also includes all Christians who believe in one God. You know, I love each and every one of you. Please post something on my channel. Do you want to see more coffee videos? Asante Asana, Kwaheri.